What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of the Block Party Podcast. I am your host, Kyle Blockbuster, and I thank you for viewing. Today, we are with two very special guests. Our two very special guests today, I'm going to start from my right and go to my left. I have my friend Dan Donnel here. We're going to get into who these people are and what they do. But first, I have my friend Dan, and then I have my friend Jacolby Glaude here to my left. Talk to me, guys. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling today?
Hello. Welcome.
Pretty fresh. Like being here, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Loud and breathing, baby.
Yes, sir.
We live in large.
Yeah, we're his only black friends.
That is
tokens.
that token black friends. That is a lie, first off. And second thing is, man, we're really gonna get into this podcast as the first episode. I'm actually super excited for this to be the first episode because I've been this entire podcast. We have three different general topics of discussion. One of them is MMA, one of them is money, and I'll get into more in the future on what the other ones are. But I wanted to have these two on because their MMA knowledge is at a pretty good level, and I wanted to talk to some people that also are incorporated into the MMA watching world, because as fans, you got to be able to talk through the pains of your favorite fighters and your least favorite fighters going up and going down. So before we even get started on any UFC talk, where, at least current events, should I say?
No.
Where are y'all feeling this UFC roster from this last card that just happened? Okay, so Holly Holm versus Ketlen Vieira. Okay, I want to talk about that. Where are y'all feeling?
Bullshit.
Tell me why.
Big bullshit.
Why is it bullshit? Tell me what happened. What made it bullshit? For the people at home that don't know what happened, explain it to them.
So basically, whenever you have somebody that can pretty much dominate anywhere between 3 to 4 rounds, and then you have your corner telling you that you're losing the fight going into the 5th round after they had already yelled at you going into the 4th, telling you that you were down.
You're talking about Ketlen right now.
Yep.
Yes.
And then to go out there and not even really try or change the game plan.
In the 5th round.
Or the 4th.
Or the 4th.
Yeah, it was just a real head scratcher to see.
Ketlen to come out with that win, right?
Yeah, I just didn't understand that. It was kind of just, it pissed me off. I can't lie.
Yeah,
it did. It pissed me off.
How'd you feel about it? Did you watch it?
Judging has been so off.
Yeah,
like recently.
It's really hard.
It's always been a thing, but it is kind of hard trying to judge a fight, But you would think that if you're a professional and you're getting paid hundreds of thousands or millions to judge a fight, that it would go right. Mm-hmm. But I
think,
don't know, man.
I think with Holly Holm and Ketlen Vieira, just to kind of give y'all a brief rundown of what had happened in that fight. Holly Holm had at least over 10 minutes of control time with Ketlen Vieira. For the majority of the fight, she was just holding her up against the cage, landing positive shots. She was, overall dominating from what it seemed to me, at least 3 or possibly even 4. There was one or two rounds that were not really a guarantee on if anybody had won those 2 rounds, but there was definitely 3 that I know
she scored a knockdown.
Right, absolutely. She did score a knockdown, I think, in the 3rd or the 4th.
Now, granted, it wasn't like a dazed knockdown, but it was a side kick. But that counts as a knockdown.
That's a knockdown nonetheless.
They gave that to Stephen Wonderboy all the time. Anytime he knocked people down. Mm-hmm. So it's like.
Yeah, and so I think everybody that was watching that fight was very surprised that Holly Holm did not come out with that win. I actually ended up looking up some things about that, but John McCarthy, the dude that was the ref for the whole thing, he thinks that Holly won, and he was the one in that fight. They actually had that on Yahoo News today. I had looked that shit.
Oh wait, he was the one that refed it?
Yeah.
Dang. And even he afterwards came back and said something. Yep.
So I think it was taken away from Holly Holm. I think that fight, because she's older. She's in her 40s now, I think, right? Is that true?
Yeah, she's 40.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was just a lot of it was basically like you took 3 people off of the street to judge the fight, and they were like, well, Holly's old, so why don't we just let Ketlen win?
I really don't
That's really
don't
what
know.
it felt like.
It felt like it to me as well, just because I looked at that whole. We watched the whole fight together. Like the entire fight from round 1 to round 5, there was nothing to me that made it seem like Ketlin was dominating in any fashion.
And what's funny is that whenever they raised Ketlin's hand, we didn't see it until DC moved, but he was already standing next to Holly Holm,
Waiting
to talk to her. And then they said, Ketlin Vieira. He's like walking in front of the mic. He walked in front of the camera, just shocked.
Yeah.
I'm like,
we saw that too. We were dying laughing because we were like, DC is the type of guy that like is next level whenever it comes to his IQ in the game. So for him to be prepared to talk to Holly Holm because he is so, in his mind, so prepared to talk to the winner, which AKA to us, we thought was Holly Holm based on control time, based on strikes. The only thing that I saw that Ketlin had over striking was she had more significant strikes from the hands or whatever. Like leg kicks. Holly Holm had like 120 and Ketlin had like, I think like 40 or something like that.
and she did pressure a lot, but it was like, you don't really get that much for just pressuring, especially when you're walking into stuff.
I'm also very confused about the control time because if you're going to control somebody for 10 minutes on the cage and nothing comes from that, Ketlin didn't have a takedown. I don't know. It was a surprising thing for me.
And the thing is, I went and I saw what the judges had scored, and I'm pretty sure all 3 judges gave her rounds 2, 3, and 4.
No way.
Yeah, they gave her a 10.
There's no way that she won second.
And I'm thinking,
There's no way that she won the second.
you gave her a 10 whenever she got knocked out in one of those rounds. I was like,
How?
and then one of the other rounds, while she was being controlled the entire time on the clinch, she went for a Hail Mary choke.
Yeah,
And
we saw
it
that.
was a Hail Mary because she couldn't get it, and then Holly got out, and then we just continued to watch her be beat up on the fence. So
Yeah.
it was like, 10 points. She tried. Like, what?
Yeah.
What was that?
It made no sense to me. The reason why I think Jacolby isn't chiming in too much because he was busy with some freelancing work, which we will get into in a second as well.
Yeah,
But,
I did watch the highlight film after, but yeah.
He was filming a porno.
But sometimes. So I'm gonna kind of switch gears because we do feel how we feel about the Holly Holm fight. Congratulations to Ketlin Vieira, though. Obviously, that was a very difficult win. So for you to get that's incredible. Hopefully, if you see that, you don't beat me up. But
Mr. Kyle Blockbuster.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I feel before we proceed, we come bearing gifts.
Yes. Let's soothe it out a little bit. Let's
You
relax
can't come
a
on the
little
first
bit.
podcast and not bring stuff. My
Ooh.
boy brought something, and I brought some soju, which is some Japanese rice wine.
Some sake.
Yeah, it's soju.
Okay, so it's not the same thing.
Sake is more like a liquor vodka, but soju is more like a rice wine. But I brought that. It tastes super good. So good. I bought 2 bottles.
Bet.
I think Dan brought something too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, the only thing is, I completely forgot the.
Oh my God.
Yep, I forgot it.
The cork
Dang.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do actually have one in the living room. I don't know if Chris is available.
We'll get some later.
I'll text him.
Yeah. Well, we can check it later if we end up having to stop this thing
Oh, yeah.
from the cameras anyways. But
But I'm
if we have to do this thing in segments, that's totally fine. We can just stop it. But in the meantime, pour us up some shots, baby.
Hells yeah.
We're going to have some fun on this podcast. This is going to be the very first of all of them. This is nerve-wracking for
Smells
me,
so good.
but I'm excited.
You nervous?
Yeah, I'm only nervous because this is the first episode. I feel like I shouldn't be nervous because I'm in my own home doing my own thing. But I think
like
it's
talking with your voice. It's
yeah,
it's pretty much what people want you to do.
yeah, with
Talk.
headphones.
and big ass mics.
Yes. So as y'all are pouring that up, I do want to shift gears a little bit and talk about some more UFC stuff because obviously this is just something that we do pretty often. But I want to talk about Dustin Poirier right now, local Lafayette legend. We know this man. I'm not going to really talk about DC so much, but we're going to talk about Dustin, okay? Dustin Poirier. Okay, he's still in the game. He's still hot. We know that he has the potential to fight somebody in the lightweight division right now, okay? Right now, the people that I wrote down is Dan Hooker, Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira, because apparently Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira, and Dustin are all tied for first right now. But Islam Makhachev is to me, the scariest person in that division. Tell me what y'all think.
Islam's gonna beat Charles.
Oh, are they fighting next?
Well,
Maybe.
Charles wants to run. He wants to run and take time off. Which at the same time, I feel like I have to give the man his respect. I have to give him respect because ever since he's won the belt from Chandler, he's done nothing but immediately defend the belt. So if he wants to take a chance and basically say, Islam should fight against, he said Beneil, right? Yeah, he said Beneil.
Yep. Islam was supposed to fight Beneil before
I
Islam
don't know
had
anything about
fought
that.
Bobby Green.
Oh, Bobby Green.
That's why him and Bobby Green fought. It was because
Yeah.
Beneil had to pull out because of an injury.
Oh,
But my thing is, if Beneil is still fighting with an injury, and Charles, you want the belt because you're a contender now because you don't have the belt because you couldn't make weight.
Right.
Well, then you need to fight the guy that's right here, standing in front of you. I mean, yeah, it might not be fair because it's like, oh, so we're just going to let him fight Dan Hooker, Bobby Green, and then he gets a title shot. Yeah, because there's no real champ right now.
So
let's be honest.
So-
And then Dustin's already going to be fighting Colby because he agreed.
Oh, is that so?
Possibly.
So I got a couple of things. So Dan Hooker tweeted at Dustin and said that he wants that fight. Okay, so Dan Hooker tweeted. This was literally yesterday. Okay.
with him?
Oh
Yeah.
my
So Dan Hooker
goodness.
tweeted to Dustin Poirier. Okay. And he was saying that he wants Dustin. Okay. Now I was looking up this stuff because I was very confused on why Dan Hooker is even having an opportunity to fight anybody that's in first because he's currently in 12th. So he does have a resume. Don't get me wrong. We understand his resume is long whenever it comes to fighting, but I don't get why Dan Hooker is able to call out Dustin and Dustin possibly take it.
I don't think Dustin's going to take it just because look at it where he's at right now. He's
Literally first.
He's anywhere. Well, true.
Tied, but yeah.
Yeah, he's anywhere between first and 2nd. So if you look at Dan Hooker, you're number 12, and you're coming off of a big losing streak that basically I started. Why would I fight you?
And see, that's
Yeah.
how I felt as well. But Dustin, I don't know if he had responded yet to Dan, but all I had seen was that there was a tweet from Dan Hooker to Dustin Poirier saying, "Let's get it on." And I don't know how it's going to end up working out, but I'm really confused on how Dan Hooker kind of fits into this whole mix because if Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, and Charles Oliveira are all tied for first in the lightweight division, okay, two of them have to fight, right?
Well, the only thing
What
that
do
you
you
can
think?
the only thing that you can really look at is Dan Hooker. If he wants to actually get attention and get some revival in his career, you can't fight any of these top guys because you've already been waxed by one, respectfully.
Right,
Respect.
right.
And then Islam, who's going to be fighting for the belt realistically sooner than we're all thinking.
way sooner.
He finished you in the first round, bro.
Right.
And it's like, I would hate to see you go up against Justin Gaethje because that just seems like a very poor matchup. And
Yeah.
to me, it just seems like if he wants to get a revival in his career, if he wants to actually get back somewhere within that top 10, call out McGregor, bro.
See,
Why not fight him?
see
Why?
but isn't that what Chandler did? Michael Chandler.
Yeah,
True,
but Chandler's actually doing good right now, and
Right.
that's a case in point.
Yeah.
But
I feel like Dan Hooker should try to fight the loser out of Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor if that happens. But if Conor McGregor doesn't want to fight Chandler, fight Dan Hooker.
Yeah.
Give Conor needs something to prove too because they're both on losing streaks.
Dude, but
And they're
Connor's
both in desperate need of a
Connor's
win.
also still getting finally through that leg injury that was so goddamn drastic.
He fine. He fine.
He working out.
If he can tweet saying he gonna fight people, then he can fucking fight. Like
If he can use his thumbs, he can use his whole body.
Are you Nate Diaz? Are you just gonna tweet and not fight people? Like,
Yeah, true. I mean, but also Nate Diaz, I would love to see him fight, but who really is there for him to fight? He can't keep fighting the same motherfuckers every
Nah, dude,
single time.
there's
legacy fight and then retire.
Yeah,
That's what he needs.
I feel like
That
he
would be
needs to just do one more fight and retire. But the thing is, they for some reason they couldn't come to agreements with Dustin and him, and now they can't come to agreement for a third fight with Conor, which everybody would like to see that.
True.
But now there's talks about him fighting Khamzat. Why?
Comes out, yeah.
Why, whenever he just beat a top contender like Gilbert Burns and Diaz isn't even ranked?
Yeah.
Why would we give Diaz that fight? I mean,
Just in the sense of numbers, pay-per-view numbers. Nate Diaz always catches that. So I mean, maybe for who you had said a second ago, not Islam Makhachev. You said another name like
Khamzat.
Khamzat.
yeah. But no, I think in that case, that's probably maybe what it is because Nate Diaz always brings in that pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, what does
that help with your rank?
Well, what does Chimaev get out of that? Because I mean, he just beat Burns,
right?
And respectfully, he
and that was a war.
He proved like we all wanted to see that fighter who has that O get in trouble, and there was just a couple of times that he was about to lose that O, but he faced adversity and
came through.
Yeah, so it's like you have to give him that respect, and I'm thinking, man, he's definitely either going to get a #1 contender shot or a title shot, and the thing is, if you have Chimaev fighting Diaz because Colby and Dustin are fighting. Then it's like, man, well, what happens if Diaz wins?
Right.
Are you gonna let Diaz fight Colby, or is he gonna just suddenly get a title shot with Usman? Like, it's kind of confusing, and I don't see where they're trying to really go with that.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
and the worst part about it is that the way that they sometimes pick these fights, it's like, yes, the fighters do have the overall say so of who they really want to fight or whatever because they're the one that signed at the dotted line, but like. There could be something that comes out that, like, dude, Gilbert Burns could be fighting Dustin Poirier next fucking week. We never know. I feel like with how the UFC chooses and picks who's going to be fighting next, like, yes, we could look at tweets and we can pay attention to like who could potentially be fighting who. You never know until like they release the date.
Well, you never really know until somebody is like finally got corners Dana White at a press conference, and they're like, so Dana White, is he going to do this? And Dana White like, yeah, he's going to do that. And then it's like, when he answers, he realizes, okay, I can't go back on this. I just said this. It's going to happen now. It's like,
everything's recorded.
So it's like you pretty much have to just corner Dana White and ask him, yo, what's going on with this?
Yeah.
Unless it gets leaked from a YouTube video, like the John Jones card this summer.
That does
leaked
happen.
in the war room on the video.
Yes, sir.
I don't know, man. It's
So to bring it back, right? So who would y'all say is Dustin Poirier's #1 best option to fight at this moment? Who would y'all think? He's really got Makhachev. He's got or however you say his name, Dan Hooker, Justin Gaethje, and Charles Oliveira. I don't see Charles Oliveira going for that Dustin Poirier fight because he just ended up beating him. Also, I was very confused on how Dustin is in the top when he just lost to Charles Oliveira.
He moves to #2.
Yeah. Well, on the rankings right now, they have them all tied. They have Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, and Charles Oliveira all tied for first right now. Yeah.
Well, because like realistically, if you're looking at it, if they haven't decided that,
because there is no significant champion. There's
Right.
like no.
So it's like realistically, what they're telling you is until Islam pretty much beats one of these three guys, these are the three baddest motherfuckers in the lightweight right now.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of just unrealistic whenever you look at Dan Hooker trying to do a Hail Mary for his career. I feel like he should definitely try to lower that bar, bro. It's like, I understand you want to get back into it. You don't want to give up on this career. And I've enjoyed your fights, so I just feel like you should definitely just go for a Michael Chandler or a Conor McGregor. Because Conor McGregor didn't really say yeah to Chandler,
I must say, Dan the Hangman Hooker and El Diamante Dustin Poirier are on two opposites of the spectrum right now. Like, literally and figuratively. Like, Dan Hooker is on a loss streak. He's actually down to 145. He's fighting at 145, not 155 right now. And Dustin's going up to 170. So they're like, he just kind of threw his name in there. But I think we should just throw Dan Hooker, like, out of the equation.
For Dustin, yeah.
So, and he doesn't want to get in another war with Justin Gaethje.
I don't know anybody that wants to get into war with Justin.
He's not going to fight Oliveira again right now. So he's definitely going to fight at 170. It's either Colby. The Nate fight has fallen through a dozen times. Yeah. Not Nate.
I see Colby being the highest potential. Even though I don't have him on these names, just from talking about it, I see Colby having the most weight. Now the thing is, like how Colby is now. I mean, obviously previously he wasn't really much of a shit talker, but now he's much of he's a huge shit talker. Colby Covington, whenever it comes to the game. So I could see Colby Covington even saying, because Dustin just lost to Charles Oliveira, I could see Colby Covington saying like, "Oh, that's not even worth it for me. He just ended up losing to the champ, and this is the big boy weight." You know what I'm saying? You know, like how he be talking and shit.
Yeah, but he really wants that fight because they've been beefing for years.
For a long time.
So, and it's the fact that Colby Covington just knows how to get under people's skin.
True.
Ever since he beat what's his name in Brazil?
RDA.
No, not RDA.
Oh man, who is that?
Legend. Legend. Come on, Legend in Brazil. He beat him in Brazil, and that's when he was talking shit, and everybody in Brazil was booing him.
Bald head? No, not
No.
Tia Alves.
Wow,
I'm kind of stuck on it too because I think I know who y'all talking about.
Can't believe I'm drawing a blank. It was the same. When it was like, why can't I remember his name? Oh, Gilbert Burns.
There you go.
Gilbert Burns knocked him out.
Gilbert Burns knocked out who?
Gilbert Burns knocked him out. Remember?
Knocked out Colby Covington?
No. The guy that Colby Covington beat in Brazil.
Oh, you talking about Damian Maia?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whenever he beat Damian Maia and he started that big rampage of the new Colby character that we all know today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That right around that time was whenever he started pretty much poking at everybody that he had a specific little beef with. And the reason why I like Colby when he does that is because it's real.
Absolutely.
It's not like, oh, I'm just doing this for this and that. Like, nah,
I feel like
I really don't like you as a person.
I feel like at first it started as promotion, but then it started leading into who he truly is at the core of who he is.
Yeah, because he had to save his career at that point, even though he was on like a 3-fight winning streak.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well.
We just don't like your presence as a fighter.
The fans don't like you. They think you're a boring fighter and you're not really bringing anything.
Which doesn't make any sense. I don't see him as a boring fighter at all. But obviously, I'm looking at him as today's standard.
Five-star decisions. So
Right.
That's why.
I'm also looking at it from today's standard, where Colby Covington is the big name of who he is because of his shit talking.
He's a bully. He bullies, but he does it not just like for the promotion. He brings like real personal shit into it. And now it's like, yo, you talking about what? Like, I mean, that's when you have the Jorge situation happening and him punching him on the street after leaving a restaurant.
Yeah.
But it's like, at the same time, as crazy as it sounds, that's what us fans want. We want that to be real, but at the same time, Jorge a little bit of a sore loser because, like, man, you snuck that man. You didn't even walk up to him face to face. You just ran up and snuck him with a hoodie and a face mask. Come on, bro.
But I mean, dude, like, think about the downturn that Jorge Masvidal's career has been though over the past, I don't know, year, like
2 years.
Can you name a Jorge Masvidal win other than the Ben Askren fight?
And the Nate one after that.
Like, come on.
I feel like Nate would have probably finished him if the fight wasn't called early. Because he was breathing heavy, bro, going into that fourth. And Nate was just pacing back and forth like, hey, I'm ready.
Yeah.
You know how Nate turns it around. It's like you don't TKO the Diaz brothers. You survive them.
Like, you literally survive 5 rounds with the Diaz brothers if you're lucky. That is what you can hope for at best because you are not putting one of them on the ground. You are not putting them on the floor and sleeping them. It's not happening.
I think the last time Nate was finished, it was like over 10 years ago.
Yep.
And then the only time Nick Diaz was finished was whenever he was 18 in like his second or third professional fight. And I was like, God, it's like so long ago. And you're looking at that and you're like, man, real people really just survive these motherfuckers. They don't really like.
I mean, if you can get through that, I mean, you basically got legend status because that's what they are. I feel like the Diaz brothers at the core of who they are is legendary fighters, warriors at the peak, a pinnacle of what fighting is in today's society.
And I think it's just like people don't give Leon Edwards enough props for surviving.
Rocky.
Especially that 5th round, 20 seconds left.
Yeah.
That right straight down the pipe, and he doesn't know where to look.
Nope.
Oh my God.
It was the only time that he had faced adversity, but we did see him survive.
Right.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I was hollering. I was like, "Oh, he about to finish him.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. It's over."
But
he got on his bicycle, yo.
But I mean, just piggybacking off of that, I see Nate. I see Nate with the charisma and everything that we hope to see in a fighter, but I haven't seen him. Yes, he has the dog in him, but he doesn't have the dog in him to finish people anymore. I feel like he's going into these fights to fuck with people. Like how he popped him and then he was just standing there and just laughing and pointing at him. Like,
that's Diaz.
Yes, of course. But what I'm saying is that if if at the core of who he was just a winner, like not a fighter, a winner, right? He would have won that fight because those last 20 seconds would have been important to him. He's more worried about looking like the most badass person on the planet rather than actually being on the scorecard. And I think that's what makes the difference between a Nate Diaz and a Khabib, for example.
Well, I mean, if you ever listen to Nick and Nate, if you don't finish them, they didn't lose the fight. They don't care. They don't care about scorecards.
Yep, big facts.
They'll straight up tell you, "Oh, I won that fight. He didn't finish me." Well, I mean, but the scorecard said this though.
Yeah, and for just continuing to piggyback, Jorge Masvidal, okay, for Jorge to have the dub over Nate Diaz, okay, and them to end that with just because he had a gouge in his head, right? That he's had much more cuts, a lot worse cuts.
Yeah, dude.
Like for that to happen and for them to end the fight on, wasn't that for that belt?
Yeah, the belt that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, exactly. The BMF
Doesn't mean anything.
baddest motherfucker on the planet belt. Yeah.
I still can't believe they ended that fight so soon, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
it's the state that they were fighting in, whichever state it was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm sure they have different regulations depending on if they're in like Vegas or if they're in Abu Dhabi or whatever. I'm sure all that stuff
I feel like
changes.
the doctor probably just never watched an MMA fight. He probably just usually did boxing. Or something.
He's probably like, oh, there's a cut. We must stop it. Yeah, like, I don't know. But, all right, so shifting gears, okay, that was the UFC portion of it. I do want to talk about the because it's so crucial in what we're watching on sports in general, the NBA playoffs. I want to talk about that for a second. So NBA playoffs currently right now on this date, I believe the Warriors and the Mavericks are going to be playing tonight to see if the Warriors are going to move forward or not, or if the Mavericks are going to survive another day. But currently in the playoffs, the Warriors are up 3-0 versus the Mavericks. Warriors are up 3, winning 3 games. Mavericks have not won any yet in this current portion of the playoffs. And Celtics versus Heat, currently it's 2-2. So pretty much anything goes, anything can happen, but where do y'all see it going? Do y'all see Warriors sweeping Mavs? Do y'all see what do y'all see with the Celtics and Heat? Tell me about it.
Celtics pretty much going to take it all, I have to say.
I agree.
Celtics?
Yeah.
Okay.
My only thing is if the Celtics can get past the Heat and they're like great defense, like man,
Right.
like I mean the other day they held Tatum to 12 points. I mean, yeah, he was off, but I mean he's not off unless people play defense on him.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So I just feel like if they can survive the Heat, Celtics pretty much got that. But if the Heat win, it's going to be iffy because I could really just see the series going to a game 7 if they meet the Warriors, which inevitably I feel like they're going to
I feel like that's where it's coming to because
Yeah.
we've talked about this shit before. Luka does not have the help that he needs right now. Like he is the team. Now, don't get me wrong. He dishes it to the players that he is in the sense of the game, the most complete player that is on the planet. I mean, you got LeBron, you got all the greats right now. Don't get me wrong, but whenever it comes to age, how long you've been in the game, and experience overall, Luka is to me the complete player, and he can make all 20 other players on the team. He can make them great as well. But you can't beat a team like the Celtics, and you cannot beat the team like a Warriors or even the Heat with one major dominant player. I don't even care if you're LeBron.
Yep. Unless you're Jordan.
And Spencer, yeah, right.
Unless you're Jordan.
That's the one exception, the GOAT.
Yes.
It did help during the regular season whenever they got Spencer Dinwiddie to come. It helped out, offensively. But I mean, dude,
if he could just, if Brunson could just be consistent. If
Consistency.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I just I love it whenever like not just Brunson but some other players on the team, they'll shoot when Luka needs him to make it. He's watching. He's like, and they break.
Oh yeah.
I get deflated for him, but I have to laugh because it's like you can't show that emotion, Luka.
It's like that sign of relief just from like seeing one shot go in. It's like you see that on his face. Like it's like if only his players could come through him a little bit and see like I think that is overall what makes a top player a top player. It's not like they're a top player on 4 out of the 7 nights. They are a top player 7 out of 7. There is no taking a day off. That's why Kobe was Kobe. you know? So I feel like with the state of where the Warriors and Mavericks game, I hope the Mavericks win tonight. I'm hoping just for the simple fact of me being a generalized Maverick fan, or should I say a Luka Doncic fan? Yeah, I'm gonna say Luka Doncic fan. But for me being a Luka fan, I just hope that the Mavericks win just this one, so they can have some hope going into the final, into their next game. But
I agree.
I'm sure that they're deflated right now.
I definitely see a sweep coming. Like I called it, and like as much as I would like to see Luka, make it. And be just to be in the finals, man. That'd be so cool, bro.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't seem like it's his time. It just seems like here come the Warriors again with the super team
and Jordan Poole out of kind of nowhere. Yep. I'm not saying it's out of complete nowhere. It's not out of left field. Jordan Poole overall has been a very overall solid player for at least the past 3-4 years, but
this past year.
I feel like he's that key.
He's exactly
that. It's like, oh, we ain't got to worry about Steph. We ain't got to worry about Clay. We just got to make sure Draymond's out the way. Oh, fuck.
Now we got Jordan Poole throwing up 27 in a game where they actually need him, and he's hitting them.
That's why I can't see the Heat, not struggle with that. I feel like any team's going to struggle with that, and it's pretty much to the point where it's like, you just got to outscore these motherfuckers. You can't even really play defense like that on them. And it's like, if you play too much defense, you're still giving up points somewhere because they have so many weapons, man. It's like...
And so many weapons for the entirety of the floor. Because, fucking Curry's going to hit a fucking 40-yarder for no reason. 40-footer, that yarder. That'd be crazy. That's the other side of the court. But, no, like a 40-footer, like it's nothing. Drain it, and then he's already waiting on defense on the opposite side. So it's like... It's hard to play against a Warriors team that looked like that Warriors team where they went on like that 62 win streak or whatever that it was.
But then lost.
Don't get me. But they were playing versus Kyrie and LeBron. So well, what can you really do there? But regardless, peak LeBron, peak Kyrie, should I say? But yeah, no. I feel like a good prediction would say Warriors are going to sweep this one. Now, on my personal end, Celtics versus Heat, there's a lot more to talk about because Heat's defense is so on right now. And then Celtics, what's that dude? Jaylen Brown or Jalen Brunson, whatever his name is?
Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing. Jaylen Brown is way more consistent than a Brunson.
Yeah,
I have to admit that. I know it seems like I'm shitting on Brunson because Brunson can do his things, but it's like, man, when you need him to be clutch, bro, he does not do it. Yeah. And it's like Jaylen Brown, I think it was like the last game that they had played, not the most recent. Jaylen Brown had 42 points at the end of the game.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, see, if Brunson could do something like that whenever, Luka's having problems, because Jason Tatum had 12 points by the end of that game. And Brown did his thing. He tried. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Jason Tatum felt super slighted. He was like, man, I couldn't show up for you, bro. I feel like shit, So I'm here I am. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna have 24 points by halftime in this last game. And then they pretty much just smashed the Heat. It looked like they had no defense.
Right.
And now if you see that happen again tomorrow,
they won't have something to really talk about.
Yeah, I feel like you could either see the Heat push that defense and then it will go to a game 7, or you could probably see, the Celtics take it all. I just don't see them losing to the Warriors. I don't see them getting blown out all these games because the Celtics just score too much.
Yeah.
Because even whenever Jason Tatum's not doing his thing for whatever reason, he is dealing with that nagging injury. But it didn't seem like it was too bad last game. But
they had, from what I had seen, 2 players, Jason Tatum and one other player, had came off the court. Went to the trainer. Trainer fixed him up or talked to him or whatever the hell. I don't know what they did in the background.
It was Marcus Smart that went back there too, huh?
It was a starter.
I just know it's Tatum.
I know that. I think it was the Smart. That's the white dude. He's kind of shorter.
Marcus Smart with the LSU with the green hair.
Yeah.
I gotta look at the roster
because I know it wasn't Al Horford, but I think it was him. I think it was Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart. Definitely have to double check.
I just remember there was 2 people. They had got out the game, went to the trainer. Trainer, I don't know what the fuck. I guess he's magic, but they came right back out. And probably
they put a Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce. They're like, no, I'm good.
You got to milk it, of course. It's playoffs. You got to milk the injuries. Why not?
Especially when it's 2-2 right now.
Yeah, I definitely see the Celtics destroying the Warriors in the finals. And the Warriors all season have been a bottom defense. even
Yes.
in the postseason.
But it's because they score.
Great offense, but terrible defense. But Celtics, great offense and great defense. So,
Yes.
I mean,
They are, I think, the most sound overall team. Celtics are the most overall sound team in the NBA right now. From what I see now, Miami, they do have an astounding defense. Warriors have an astounding offense. But if we're talking about overall, I think Celtics have every single piece of that puzzle right now.
Yeah, man, if they could just make it past the Heat, they'll pretty much be proving us right.
Yeah.
My only thing is just if I see them go up against the Warriors, I'm definitely gonna say it's most likely gonna be a Game 7.
Yeah.
'Cause it's gonna be all the way up to a Game 7, and then it's gonna be, instead of who can score the most, it'll be more of a who can play defense the best.
yeah.
Because
Defense
by
wins
Game
championships.
7, they're just gonna be tired. Because one thing about the Warriors, they can put up so many points, but they do have those games sometimes where they're just all missing, and it's because they're just worn out. You know, they have to have a game break where they just can't produce those numbers. And I feel like if the Celtics can take advantage of that just once, they'll be pretty much leading the series by one game, and then you got the Warriors basically playing catch up, and then you're gonna see basically Clay and Steph Curry throw up like 33s.
Right. From 40 feet.
Yeah,
Like it's nothing. So, but yeah, so I'll just throw out my prediction right now. I'm probably going to be way wrong, but I'm going to say Warriors are going to beat the Mavs, I think, tonight.
Okay.
Or within the next couple of games or so, I'd say. Sweet. But I see Warriors sweeping, and then I see Celtics holding true. Just because they have that overall team, you know, even though Jason Tatum only hit 12, I still see him being the contributing factor that he always is.
Oh, I think he scored almost 40 last game when they tied it up.
Well, did he?
They tied the
Was that
series.
the game that he came back from?
He had like 24 about a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I see Celtics beating the Heat. I'd say maybe Game 6. That's kind of what's going to be my prediction. Game 6, I feel like Celtics will do it. But and then Warriors versus Celtics. That's going to be a really hard one. I'm going to actually say the Warriors only because their shooting right now is kind of ridiculous. Celtics, I mean, we always know that the Warriors are going to have the output on offense. Do not get me wrong. But for them to make Luka Doncic have the trouble that he's having and him be the complete player that he is, I don't see the Warriors having too much of trouble with the Celtics, because Warriors during the playoffs are a different team, and they're proving that right now. Yep. So, I don't know.
I feel like with Jordan Poole, he kind of saves them a little bit.
Yes,
because it's
100%.
not. It's like even whenever Jordan Poole's not doing good, well, now you gotta worry about Steph and Clay,
and
then you got Draymond in your face.
And Draymond's defense holds true. Like, Draymond's defense has always been his number one key factor. Now, don't get me wrong, he does get rebounds out the fucking ass, but his defense is, I think, one of the major reasons why, because he's the type of defensive player like LeBron, where he can play a 3 guard, he can play a point. You know what I'm saying? If he needs to, not actually like offense, but on the defensive side, he can be on that opposite end and take care of whatever's necessary from the defensive perspective, just because he's working like that. So yeah, I see Warriors taking the whole thing. I just see them having a lot more difficulty than what they're having with the Mavericks, with the Celtics. But dude, I could be completely wrong. He could end up taking the whole damn thing. I don't know.
I feel like if he does get past the Celtics, it's very likely, but I feel like the Warriors would push it to a Game 7.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that just makes the most sense.
Yeah. I feel like regardless, the Warriors are going to win. But I feel like we're going to see a finals Game 7.
Yeah.
You might see about 2 games go into overtime.
Heard that. Well, I just want to comment one thing. Nothing about the sports stuff that we were talking about. We've been recording for 38 minutes, and that thing is still recording. Woo! We're good.
Oh, it is?
We're good. Our first episode is on its way, and I'm very excited about that.
Wait, the light's blinking now. I was like, that's good.
that means it's recording.
That's how.
Okay,
That's how it's
because
supposed
there
to
was
be.
like on the screen, it was like a little red dot, but it wasn't there anymore, so I didn't know.
It's still blinking over here, so it's looking like we're still looking like we're still good,
yeah,
and we
yeah,
still
we
got
are.
about two bars,
bars,
so
baby.
we can work with that.
Bars.
Let's go.
Okay,
Speaking
good.
of, you want to rap? No, I'm just joking.
Not ready for that.
Ready for that. So, all right. So shifting subjects here.
That soju's good, huh? What y'all thought about that soju?
Oh my God!
that
It
soju?
tastes. It actually is
You can have it. They have the recipe.
It is actually the easiest to drink Asian alcohol that I've ever tried.
12% alcohol.
Yeah.
This is the best tasting strong alcohol I've ever tasted.
Period.
So that's why I bought like 2 bucks.
Dude, if I could throw that in Sprite and not even think that it's there, like it's that I was sipping this like it's nothing, and I drank it in no time, and I don't feel anything off of it yet. But obviously, if I were to drink that whole bottle, I think that would be a problem.
It's easy to drink.
Yes, and that could be a problem and a good thing, you know. So shifting gears, I actually want to talk about you two for a second. I want to know a little bit more. I know about y'all, but I want y'all to tell me about y'all, because obviously over time this is going to be a platform to help the people that are on it. And I want to I'll start with Jacolby and then we'll shift. So Jacolby, I want to ask you, so what are you doing in your life? What is your current goals? What's going on? Talk to me.
I'm planning a trip to the moon, and I shall be leaving this summer.
Nice.
So I will join all of you next year back on Earth if things get better.
He works for Elon.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your freelance work.
Yeah, it's going good, man. Just working, always working.
Heard that.
Trying to enhance life.
Yes.
Yes.
So to give you a little bit of breakdown for Jacolby's job, he does a lot of editing.
Video work, hit me up. Video editing, you know.
Anything. What's your Instagram? What's your socials?
Instagram is ohmyglaude, Glaude.
Heard that.
On TikTok and YouTube, it's JMG Creative.
JMG Creative.
Yes.
Anybody that needs any camera work, anybody that needs any video work, anything from that general direction. He went to school for this. He has a degree in this. This is what he does. So definitely look for him for that. So how's that moon trip treating you? What you thinking you're gonna find over there?
Nah, man, I ain't gonna find nothing up there, bro. It's nothing but space dust, and freaking rocks.
Space dust and rocks.
But yeah, I just been doing the freelance film and editing a lot of weddings and stuff and video games. I've been playing Kingdom Hearts recently, and I've been rewatching Steins Gate, watching Avatar, and also Kotaro Lives Alone.
Is that an
That's
anime?
pretty interesting on Netflix. Yeah, Kotaro Lives Alone, and been doing that, and yeah.
Yeah, you told me about that one. Yeah.
I actually have not. I don't know shit about that. So
All right.
yeah.
Let it be on the record that Kyle does not watch anime.
right now,
But
currently.
we do. Us black guys, we'll give you some good advice. Jacolby likes more of the.
He said us black guys. All right, go ahead.
Jacolby watches more of the adventure and also.
I watch it all. Stop.
But that's usually what you show me: adventure and also like basically a lot of like sci-fi and like time lapse and time twisting animes. Yeah, but
Interesting plots.
yeah, I'm more of a horror anime.
Horror
You know,
anime.
and fighting.
Deep and dark and fighting.
Action.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Is the majority of the stuff that y'all watch dubbed, or is it usually do y'all usually watch the normal version and then
We watch it all.
what it?
Yeah.
Okay, so the reason why I'm asking is because the only anime that I've watched, and other than like Avatar, The Last Airbender, like that type of shit, the only one that I've seen that was not dubbed, it was like completely. I don't even know. I guess Mandarin. I really don't know the languages that it usually is. Maybe Japanese. I don't know what language that it is, but
He said Mandarin.
but it was I can't. What is it? Is it never in Mandarin? What is it in?
I'm pretty
Either
sure.
Japanese or Chinese.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever a Mandarin.
Y'all know,
I mean, I'm sure there's some animated shows that.
guys, y'all know the number one spoken language in China is Mandarin.
Is it Mandarin?
But I don't think it's used in anime.
But I know, but it's Mandarin and Cantonese. That's the number 1 and 2.
Cantonese.
Cantonese. So Chinese is not a language.
Yes, sir. That's Jacolby. He racist. He said that.
Stop the cap.
Stop the cap. I wish we had a button for that. But yeah, no. So I don't really watch anime, but what I can't even remember the name of the anime that I was watching. It was like it had like Titans in it or whatever. They were like
Attack on Titan.
I knew is that it? It's like they're huge, like
It's Attack on Titan.
massive. Okay. I don't know. I thought it was named something else, but
One of the best animes.
Yeah, was it or is it? I didn't watch the whole thing.
It's pretty up there for me. My top 5, not my number 1 or number 2, but
All right, let's break them down. Top 5 animes.
Oh,
Go.
snap. We doing this?
All right.
Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Okay.
Anybody that watches anime, y'all know what I'm talking about.
I actually started watching Full Metal Alchemist. I've seen like 4 or 5 episodes. So
Yep, you gotta watch the original, and then you gotta watch Brotherhood, and then you're gonna be like, wow, this is the best anime I've ever seen.
Okay. Okay.
In my opinion.
Okay. Do you have a couple others?
Yeah. Ooh, what was the one I showed you? Oh, From the New World. Yeah, that was very good.
That's the name of it, From the New World?
Yeah, it's very good.
I don't know if I finished that. Let me write it on my list.
What?
They have an anime list.
I remember there was one I was.
Oh yeah, it's like because I'm pretty much more of like I have to watch something that's deep.
Right.
And if you want
Like storyline, plot, like is what
all of that, and if it's like if you got some dark stuff in there, oh, that's even better. I want to be able to question reality. I want to be able to question, how we think in regular, just in regular reality. Stuff that makes you really feel
And
think,
feel.
Yeah.
Makes you question, think, and feel emotionally.
Yeah, like everybody likes Dragon Ball Z, of course, but it's like I think that's my childhood. Love it. I'll watch it all day if you really let me, But I'm pretty much more of the old school Dragon Ball Z. The whole Dragon Ball Super. It just, I don't know. Maybe my age is showing, but I just get tired of all of the evolutions. It's like, oh my gosh, like we could have really just stuck with numbers, and it would have been just fine.
Mm-hmm.
It would have just been just fine.
Now we got colors. We got
Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. Like wait, it's like what?
ultra supernatural instinct.
Saiyan.
Braggadocious Saiyan.
It's literally like they were like the writers of the show was like, here you go, son. Like, and they let their 10-year-old have it. Oh, this is going to call him Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, and he got Ultra Instinct, Superman. Wait, what? Superman. It's like we could have just stuck with numbers, bro. Like
Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2. We're good. We're good. We can even go to 5 if we need to.
They just stopped it at 3, and then they pretty much just started adding all these extra names, and then they didn't even make Super Saiyan 4 canon. And I'm like, why not? He looks so badass. Like, oh my god.
But I feel like that shift is just I feel like that's what companies do. Think about it. Apple, like you got the iPhone. Then you got iPhone 3. I don't. Have you ever heard of an iPhone 2? Never. iPhone 3, iPhone 4, iPhone 5, all the way to 6, and then it stops at like 8 and goes to 10. Like, and technically not even 10. It goes to X. So it's like,
it's kind of like they just kind of want to feed into the masses of basically what the younger generation would like to say more or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like basically if you can get the kids into it, you're gonna get the most out of yourselves.
Yep.
Because they don't have the money, but their parents do.
right.
People love to spoil their kids, so it's like
You also have to shift it up for them a little bit. So like going back to like Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2, all that shit, and then they changed it to like Super Saiyan, blah blah blah.
yeah.
Like changing it up kind of helps. I feel like with different. What's the word? Like whenever you're getting into a rhythm, if you change up the rhythm for a second, some people will either like be shaken up by it and not really like it so much, and then you got people that'll be shaken up and love it. So it's like, I guess shaking it up will kind of give you the potential for throwing yourself into maybe more different audiences or something like that, rather than just keeping down the exact structure that was already created. I don't know. Maybe changing it up kind of helps a little bit with their branding and stuff like that. So I don't know. Maybe.
Yep. But if you guys need any good anime advice, we all know kinds of anime. It's
What's up, Kyle?
Except for me. I could probably talk to you about the first 5 episodes of Full Metal Alchemist, and that's about it.
It's like we watch a lot of anime, but if anybody got some anime that they would like us to watch, we're not closed-minded. We can't watch everything. I wish I could, but
hey, throw us out some suggestions in the comments. Feel free.
Please.
So all right, so we talked about Jacolby Glaude for a second. We are going to shift to my friend Dan Donnel. So Dan, I want you to talk about yourself for a second. I'm not going to explain who you are. Talk about it.
Introvert at its finest.
Okay.
Due to a lot of trauma.
Let's unpack that.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
You should get that on the buttons.
That'd be sick.
The last button is going to be emotional
You
damage.
should write that down.
But
Say less.
Pretty much just a super hard worker, not a person that's afraid of labor. I'll do anything for money except dirty things.
Right.
I'm a person that believes that you should not have only one income. You should have multiple types of income.
Yes.
I learned that because I went to the business academy for 4 years when I was in high school. Yep, learned a lot. Learned how to do a lot of things with banks that my friends were asking me to do whenever we were in our early 20s, and I had been new to this shit. And I was like, yo.
Yeah, like, yo, you don't even know how to write a check? What the fuck?
I was like, what do you mean you have 4 credit cards? Like,
What do you mean? Dude, there was
10 credit cards.
I cannot remember. I can still remember there was that blonde lady that was in the business academy at Acadiana, and she was like the really tall, skinny one. I can't remember what her name was, but
Stephen? Miss Stephen? No.
Possibly.
blonde lady at Acadia.
She had short haircut.
short?
Old?
No, she was tall. She was taller. She was taller than me. She was like 6 foot.
Oh my gosh, you talking about Miss Bennett?
I don't remember.
That was most likely the lady that you're talking about.
Maybe.
Probably.
She had that. Let me speak to the manager haircut with blonde hair. And yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But it was all blonde. It was all blonde hair.
And then there was one time where she put some colors in it, made it like dirty blonde. Yeah.
But yeah, no, she was the one, because I was in the business academy at Acadiana too. But they had told me she was the one that was like, don't ever get a credit card. You can go your entire life without a credit card. You don't need a credit card. That was like, if there was any piece of advice that I remembered from high school, that was her. That was her piece of advice. Dude, that's why whenever he had said it, I was like, yep, I remember that lady.
Yep, she screamed that at me too.
Yeah, yeah. She used to tell me the same thing. But we're gonna talk about money for a second. We're shifting gears from sports talk to money for a second. But I also agree. I don't think any person, really in America, I'm not going to say on this planet because different countries are way different than us, but in this country, I don't think a person could survive on one income. I don't care. I don't care what you're in. Now, scratch that. If you're a doctor, if you're a physicist, I feel like there's a difference. Lawyer.
Porn star. You have to admit it.
Yeah, no, you're right. But I definitely believe that you cannot just be. It's not the 1980s anymore. Is pretty much what I'm trying to say. You can't just go to your 9 to 5, pay your money for your house, and then pay off your house in 5 years anymore. It is. You have to have 6 different forms of income for the possibility of being able to maybe I don't know, like shift one of those businesses into a full functioning business. Like I feel like the whole world is from the market to inflation to all the cryptocurrencies crashing to everything. I feel like we're in a period of time where Americans are suffering right now.
And it used to not be like that.
And that's why I tell everybody, man, I like to put my money in stocks, I have to start getting into NFTs, So if you're thinking about what are NFTs, I don't understand it. Just go on the internet.
Start
looking
it up.
Research it.
Watch some YouTube videos.
Just take the time to research it, because why? It is just something that you could probably be interested in and good at, and you can take it somewhere in your life.
Right.
I always think about all of these places where people are like, oh, I want to go here, I want to do that. Cool, get your life together.
Right.
Like, just do it. Just like, even if it seems like it's unrealistic, it's not unrealistic.
Yes.
You can do it. All you gotta do is just manage. Like,
yes, absolutely. And management, time management, everything, all type of management are so important. But one thing that I had seen on a post was if you're not willing to downgrade your life for a year to upgrade your life for the rest of your life, then there's no point in starting your own business.
I like that.
You have to be able to downgrade your life for a period of time. And the reason why I say downgrading your life can seem scary when you're going at a good pace in life. But when you realize, like I did at a young age, that there's only a certain level, a certain cap that your employer will put you on, getting into the world of like me, like for example, Jacolby's currently into the freelancing world, getting into separate businesses that seem scary, something that you might not know about, but you're intrigued by it. It is important that you start, because if time shows anything, momentum is the shift in your paradigm in life. I feel like if you don't have the day-to-day makeup of, you just need to do a little bit every day on this one specific subject. So let's say your business structure, regardless of where you're at in your world, right? Let's say it's selling watermelons, right? Selling fruits, So it's selling buckets of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Okay, you're
Nice.
joking. But anyways, let's say your business model is just is selling a product, right? If you have any product off the top of your head, if you don't know how you can get that to somebody, you need to be asking questions. You need to be researching. You need to go out of your way to get out of the mindset that 9-to-5 job is going to take care of you for the rest of your life. They will if they have a downturn in their market, they will fire you before they fire the CEO.
Yep.
They will trash any of your possible next, like, so what I'm trying to say is that if you're at a job and you leave that job in a not so good way, like for example, you don't put in your 2 weeks or whatever, they can trash you for the next employer that's trying to hire you. And at the end of the day, there's going to be a cap at that no matter what. You're going to be either stuck at 20, 30, 40,000 or whatever, 100,000 a year, but that's the limit. With a business, when at least an online business, you have the potential to go to your heart's desire, and I feel like in the world that we're in, for us to be normal, casual thinking human beings, in America, you cannot just survive on one income.
Yeah, need side hustles.
Constant.
Side hustle.
Like I said, I do the Uber thing, I do the Lyft thing, got an actual 9-to-5. Then I still will have my money in stocks, and then I still want to get into the NFTs. So it's like you just gotta have your money everywhere.
You have to.
You have to. It's like you never know what's going to happen. You never know what the economy's going to do. Gas might be $10 by the end of this year.
Gas, for example, the housing market is through the roof. Everybody's buying, but nobody has. I'm sorry. In the housing market right now, okay, all the people that already have money are buying up all the properties. Okay, that's assets. Okay, so if let's say Joe Blow Real Estate Company is going out of their way and they're buying everything in Lafayette. They're buying every house that they can find, every apartment, every apartment complex. Like they're buying everything that they possibly can. Okay, how can a person trying to get into the real estate game, trying to acquire some assets, how can they get in this game when this market is set up for only the people that have the money to get into it? Like it's real difficult. I tried putting myself into the whole world of getting myself a quadruplex and really getting started on that real estate career, because that was going to be one of my next steps is getting into that real estate, because over time you're going to realize that the only way that you can level up in life, and I say level up because you can level up and create a business, but you can level up and have like assets. You can have things that are appreciating over time from just you holding them. And NFTs, the world of NFTs is a way to potentially get into that. But I want to talk about NFTs in a second. But all I'm saying is that currently in the housing market that we are in, the people that have the money, they're buying all these properties. Now, they're not buying these properties for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. They're buying these things for 10 plus, maybe for the entirety of the company's existence. And that means that these houses are now off the market. These are not houses that I can go out of my way and go buy unless I'm going to pay well above the asking price, which they are automatically even doing. They're buying them way above asking price. So for me to buy above their asking price, it's nearly impossible, Yeah. And their interest rates are way lower than anything that I could ever get. It's a scary market to be in when
It's a bitch.
It's a bitch. It's exactly that. It's like that. And it sucks, and I say it sucks, but life sucks. The world sucks. That is the framework of being a human.
Yeah, what God doing?
Yeah. Well, God is trying to put it in our hands. That's what He's doing. He's saying, y'all figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
While I make this black hole in space.
That y'all are gonna figure out in 2 years. Yeah, bro. Elon Musk gonna be like, yo, we got something to worry about now, bro. But yeah, no. I feel like money, at the end of the day, whenever it comes to starting a business in 2022, it's necessary if you have not started one already. Whether you call it a side hustle, whether you call it a business, whatever you call it, you need to get started on something other than just that 9-to-5, because you can't survive that way.
And we're not putting on any kind of facade here. Ain't none of us rich, y'all.
Yeah, no.
Ain't none of us rich.
We on the come up.
But yeah, we're on the come up. But the fact is that we're on the come up only because we've all been broke before.
Literally.
If you're looking at this and you're like, well, I'm a broke motherfucker, guess what? We were just like you. And not saying that you are a bad person or anything like that, or we're all the same at one point. We're all the same at one point. Even if
unless you're born into a completely rich family, which I cannot relate to, but
yeah, bitches. No, but nah.
must be nice.
Daddy trust fund.
Anybody can just make it. You just got to put in the work. And like, as much as you've probably heard this in life, hard work pays off. As much it may suck right now, it might suck next week, it might suck next month, bro, that hard work will pay off. You have to believe not just in the work that you're doing, but you have to believe in yourself. If you keep a positive mind within yourself and the work that you're doing, you're going to be able to find opportunities that you never thought were possible. You know,
Absolutely.
And it might not even come from just your working. It might come from somebody else seeing you do that work, doing that hard work. It might be from your friend. Hey, bro, I noticed that you're doing this. I got this job. Like, I know that you're probably good at. You know what I'm saying? Anybody could just change your life right then and there.
Absolutely.
And just help you, you know?
No, and I 100% agree with that point. I think, yes, it's one thing to make a business. Yes, it's one thing to put your everything in that business on top of the 9-to-5 that you're working. But connections, exactly like Dan had kind of said a second ago, connections, regardless of if it's just your friend noticing the hard work or if it's somebody on some other playing field that you're not even paying attention to notices the work that you're putting in. People notice real workers, and people notice the people that are going out of their way to succeed much farther than any expectation that's upon them. So I think it's so necessary, yes, to work hard, but work smart, because we are in the digital age. We are in a world where computers are our entire life. Like, to go look up the information that we have at our fingertips on a day-to-day basis in the 1980s, you would literally have to go to a library and research for like 30 minutes to 2 hours just to get one answer to a question that we can type on our phones in 10 seconds. And so, because of how automated that we are, getting back into the NFT talk, the NFT and cryptocurrency world, if you were not invested in it, even if you have no understanding of what that is, think of it like the internet once was. Okay, if you're 16 and watching this or 14 and watching this, then you cannot relate to what the internet had turned into. But there was a massive upswing in the revolution of the technology world. Like, everything shifted. You saw people that were sitting in their homes doing literally nothing, and then just decided to start playing on their freaking computer, and now they're worth millions of dollars because they figured out how the system works. I actually had a really long talk with my brother the other day, and we were like bullshitting, trying to test all this equipment, and he was saying that yes, it's important to have a job. I mean, to have a job and have a side hustle and stuff like that. But he was saying it's just as important to actually know what you're doing. And I half agreed and I half disagreed with him. And the reason why is because people will know what they need to do and still not do it.
Yeah. It's self-discipline that a lot of people lack.
Yes.
You just got to do.
And I'll be honest, you're not born with self-discipline. You're not born with it.
I don't think you're born with anything other than your flesh and skin.
And it's like you pretty much have to be taught self-disciplined, whether it's from somebody else or yourself, or these lessons that you keep messing up and you got to learn. It's like, but regardless, it's up to you to be self-disciplined. That's pretty much all it is.
100%.
Yep, you got to adapt, especially now, this day and age, bro. Like, so much has changed just in our, 20-something odd years of existence.
Literally, so much has changed.
I know, the Nelson Mandela effect just keep messing things up.
Yeah, butterfly effect. But yeah, no, I think, and here's another topic of discussion. What about in 40 years with our kids, with our children?
Yeah, dude.
Like,
that's why I tell everybody we have to remember everything that happens, even if it's the smallest thing, because ain't nobody about to tell me something like, Sonic the Hedgehog, oh, that man yellow. No, bro, he's blue. Like, ain't nobody telling me some shit like that in the future, bro. Like, y'all not messing up my mind. That's what I always say. You got to remember everything, man, because, like, history, whatever the government is doing, or Illuminati or anything like that, they're trying to change stuff. And I don't care if I'm going to die trying to say, hey, that's not right. The bear in the big blue house, not the red house. Like, nah, I'm remembering. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's important to understand the same way that at one point in time people were I'm sure saying, oh, the internet isn't going to be a thing. Internet's not going to be that serious. It's not going to be that real. It's not going to be that in everybody's homes every day. We also didn't think that we were going to have a screen in front of in our pockets, like literally having as a tool that if you were lost in the middle of nowheres, and as long as you have that phone and it's charged just enough, you could at least figure out where you're at and get yourself out of that predicament, whether you call it Uber, whether you could end up door dashing some food to you depending on where you're at. Like
you can even call 911 if you have no service. Like
Yep.
like imagine how many people just like 20, 30 years ago could have used that. Like
yes.
Rest in peace to any people that, you know.
RP.
Yeah, for real.
But the majority of all that stuff came from the rise of technology and the internet. And NFTs in the cryptocurrency world are exactly that. It's not something that you should spend every single waking moment of your life paying attention to, but it is something that you should start to understand. Because if you were to be the person 30 years ago that said the internet was not going to be a thing, you would look stupid today. You would look like an idiot. If you were to go with that same thought process and say NFTs are stupid, cryptocurrencies are stupid, then in 30 years, when other people are reaping the rewards just from learning about this stuff, you're going to be the one being like, damn, I shouldn't have said that. Damn, I should have talked to this person or asked this question or
missed out.
Like there are people who are rich
open-minded
right now because they decided to invest in Bitcoin when they first started. And these people had $10 in it. Turns into 100,000. What?
Like it's nothing. It's
like
crazy.
what? They never thought that would happen, but they were like, you know, this is a new thing. I'll just try it out. You know, like, bro, try it out.
Now they said, no, millions for what? Like, and the market dropped.
Yeah, it's like I always say, just try it out. Just try it. You never know if you're gonna be good at it. You never know if it's gonna change your life. Yeah. If it sounds too good to be true, well, give it a little faith. Try it. Try it a little bit. Don't put your full basket. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Put 2 of them in there. Yeah, see what it's gonna be like. Yeah.
Yes, you know, throw a dog a bone. That's all you really need sometimes. You know, because I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, if you are just chasing that 9 to 5, hoping to become that senior VP one day, you know, there's still only a level. There's a cap to the amount that they will pay you every year, and that is totally fine if you're comfortable within a certain means. But if you have these big baller dreams where the only way for you to get to that level is to polarize yourself, it's going to seem difficult, it's going to seem scary, and it's going to feel like that for a long time. I'm talking years. I'm year 4 into my journey of becoming a self-made entrepreneur, and I'm doing decent. Do not get me wrong. I feel like I'm doing well for the position that I'm in, but I went through the toughest times of my life trying to figure out who I was, why I wanted to do this, what was the purpose of it, and how I'm going to continue. So it's not going to be an overnight thing. Don't ever expect it to be an overnight thing. But what you can do is just do a little bit every single day. And start with something that you enjoy. Because you can make a business out of, I swear to God, anything.
Yep.
And literally anything.
Literally.
You see people pretty much making their own business whenever they're on live on TikTok. Even if they're not doing nothing, guess what? People are still watching them 100%. Do whatever the fuck they're doing, and they're getting paid for it. You might look at it and you be like, oh, this is stupid. Scroll. There's like over 2,000-3,000 people watching this motherfucker giving him money though.
Yeah, like, yeah. And so who's really losing here?
He's picking his nose, but he made $100 today. like it's true. So you can make money off of pretty much doing anything. Like people will literally just be good at video games and they'll set their phone up like how you're doing and just have people watch them on their live and they'll get paid for it.
Yeah.
And it's like they don't even need Twitch. They just do it on their TikTok.
And the craziest part about this is that TikTok is actually getting so everything's advancing, obviously, but TikTok is at a point now where I could go live and game on my phone, right, and go live same exact time, same phone, same everything. They have like a new feature. It's like the world is becoming so automated that if you don't over time make that business, make that whatever is on whatever is in the back of your mind, like maybe I could do this. Like, dude, you could be painting pictures for 10 years, and then that 10th year you get that $1 million sold painting.
Yep.
You know, it's just that accumulation effect. Just do a little bit every day, and sooner or later you'll have a really big
It's all about just putting yourself out there, and realistically, man, if I'm telling y'all, from somebody who really does not give no fucks about what anybody else thinks, besides my close friends and people, but
and my mama.
yeah, it's like if you just go out there and you're just not really caring about what anybody thinks, I promise you, that's what's going to make you successful. People will ask you all the time, "Oh, why you do this?" Because I like it. It makes me happy. It makes me money. Guess what? You ain't have to say anything else.
Yeah.
If they ask you another question in the same kind of phrase, guess what? Say the same damn thing.
Yep.
Why? Because they're not giving you any of that you just listed.
Literally.
like, bro, I promise you will go through life so much better. You won't go stressed. You won't care about what nobody's thinking, because you only care about the people that are interested, that are like giving you props, that are supporting you. It's like all the other people that just want to throw out hate. Guess what? They're probably just jealous, bro.
Yeah.
They're probably just jealous, and they're probably living a worse life than you. They probably wish they had the courage that you had to be able to do something like this. It's just all based on you not caring about what everybody else thinks.
Yep.
You know, just as long as you're not doing something crazy like murdering people.
Yeah.
There was also I'm always going to keep bringing up these sayings, but there was a wise man once said, "Hate falls on deaf ears." So if hate is coming at you from during your journey of starting that little business that's in the back of your head, and somebody's going to tell you, "Why are you doing that? Why are you selling eyelashes? Why are you selling oranges? Why are you doing this? You that's not going to become your big business. That's not going to be profitable for you." Whatever they're going to say to throw you off of that path that you're on, it's not even a hurdle. That's just that hate falls on deaf ears. You shouldn't see it. Hate you should never see.
Yawn in their face.
Yeah.
Yawn in their face. Well, that's like dead ass, bro. Be rude.
Yeah.
Be rude without even having to say anything. Like,
Well, I feel like it's necessary to be kind and genuine, but because we shouldn't judge those people that judge us. Don't get me wrong. It's important for you to stay on your path and allow that hate to fall on those deaf ears and all that stuff. But it's most important to be kind and this is coming from me, I feel like it's most important to be kind when those people are giving you hate, because they'll realize over time that this person did not ever deserve any portion of that hate. They really just deserved maybe my appreciation, maybe my focus or whatever the hell, but I mean, they deserved more than the hate that I gave them is basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Smile on their face. No.
Smile and wave, boys.
Yeah, smile and wave.
Smile and wave.
But realistically, it's all about one like defense mechanism that I pretty much use whenever you have those haters that come out of nowhere and they just want to ask questions because whatever reason they're interested. But sometimes you can hear the tone that they're trying to judge you in some type of fashion or try to make you feel stupid about what you're doing, and ask them questions.
Yeah.
Just ask them questions. Like, whoa, why are you doing this? It's kind of dumb. Or don't you think that this is kind of like wasting your time? I turn it around. What's your hobbies?
Right.
What do you like to do? And
Right.
Okay, well, if you like to play piano, okay, well, why don't you record yourself playing piano?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I make them answer your questions, because realistically, you're the one that's doing something that you like to do. It's bringing you happiness, bringing you money, doing whatever, and they're not doing it, so they want to question you.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, we all have some type of talent or some type of hobby that we like to do behind closed doors, and we could actually turn it into our own
Monetize
personal business in any type of fashion. And people who are scared of that want to judge other people, but it's like, bro, you're judging me, but you could probably be the best piano player in your state, and you don't want to just.
You could be the best one in the world, but you're in your basement every day.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. Like, you could be the best dancer, but you never record.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to myself for a second. No, but
Introvert at his best.
You're right. And like I said, I think that next step, once you do have that business in mind, once you do have that path mapped out in your own brain, that next step is throwing in freelancing. And that's why I get so excited about when Jacolby talks about the freelancing work, because every weekend he is working, and like he has his Monday through Friday like schedule planned out every single week, and he is still grinding on those weekends because he knows that one day, hopefully, that is going to be that side income hopefully will take over that main income. And if you can end up doing that, then your freedom now at the core of who we are as humans, yes, we do work for the dollars, but we need to be working for a time. Like over our life, I've noticed that if you can automate yourself to a point where your side hustles, your side businesses, everything on the side is starting to outweigh those normal Monday through Friday necessities, that job that you know that you have to go to make sure that you have that rent paid and those utilities paid. If you can get to a point where those side hustles are taking over, or getting right to about the point where they can take care of all your bills plus a little bit, go full force. Like take that opportunity, take that leap, because really what it is a leap of faith.
Yep.
If you can't take that opportunity one day, now I'm not saying that you need to be ready for it at any moment. Like, it's not like that. Like, you'll know. And whenever you are ready, take that leap of faith. Trust yourself. Don't trust those haters. Don't trust anybody else that's going to feed you lies. Like, just prove it in your work. Prove it in your day-to-day projects. And I'm telling you, over time, 4 years in, and 4 years seems like a long time.
It could be faster for you.
It could be faster for you.
But you don't know until you start trying.
Never know.
But coming from somebody that it has taken 4 years to just get to the point, believe me, whenever I say it is worth it. Your time from the day that you wake up to the day that you go to bed it's dependent on you. And having that much freedom comes with having to have so much self-control to make that whole world work. So it's a world that I want a lot more people that will one day listen to this. I want y'all to look into getting into the world of starting your own business, whatever it is, any business. And if you have a question, ask anybody. One thing that I had found is, I think, key and most important is finding a mentor. They don't have to be in the exact position that you want to be in 10 years from now or whatever the hell, but find somebody that knows more than what you know.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then just watch them. Pay attention to them. Ask them a million questions. I promise you, the odds of them getting mad that you're asking them genuine questions and looking for genuine answers is slim. People want to help you. People want you to go to another level. People want to pay attention to your journey just as much as you want to be on that journey. But if you don't slide yourself in that world, if you don't slide yourself in that direction, if you don't make an attempt, you're just going to be stuck on a diving board.
Yep. And like, basically, if you don't even know how to go about asking somebody, just do what I do. You can take my words. Anytime, I'm one of those people that does not like to pretend like I know something. If I really don't know something, here are my words. Can you educate me on this? I'm stupid. Straight up, just tell them that.
Dan has said, I swear to God, Dan has said that to me before.
Educate me on this. I'm stupid. Like, if I don't know nothing about it, I'm just going to straight up tell you. Even if I barely know anything on it, or if I've even heard about it, I will still lie to you and tell you, educate me on this. I'm stupid. I don't know. Like, yeah. It's like, well, it makes people want to teach you. It makes people want to. They makes them come in and feeling like, oh, this guy actually wants me. Like, it's so rare that we get to teach somebody something. So it's like we almost get excited, like when people are asking me, so what are the rules of UFC or MMA? I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I want to immediately tell you, and I want to, because like I know it. So it's like, I want to steer you in the right direction.
100%.
If you ask, like people ask me about how do I get started doing the Uber thing? I'm like, oh, look, there you go. I'll tell you everything. I'll tell you like how much I make,
what you can expect.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's just all about asking questions, and nobody wants. I understand there are some people out there that might make you feel like you're stupid, or they might those people that think they're just high and mighty when they're talking to you.
People.
Yes. Don't get discouraged by that one person, even if you personally know them. Don't get discouraged by that person. Ask somebody else. If that person gives you some type of attitude, ask somebody else. There's billions of people on this earth. Not that one person matters,
including YouTube. Which I'm gonna be completely honest. YouTube is the complete reason why I'm in the midst of my journey. You know, if it wasn't for the fact that the internet came to the world that it is and YouTubers became such a dude, I was an iPad kid. I say I'm an iPad kid or whatever, but like I didn't even have a flip phone until I was freaking 16. But
You're not an iPad kid.
but I mean, I like staying on YouTube it has been my life for such a long period of time. Watching YouTube videos, studying people, like understanding psychology came from watching YouTube videos about psychologists, like watching Jordan Peterson, then going to living with a psychologist in California. You know, like it's weird, but the more you learn about yourself, the more you learn about your brain, and the more you learn about the things that you actually want to do, I'm telling you that road 10, 20 years from now, you're going to thank yourself.
And realistically, I honestly look at YouTube as the new cable.
I look at it as the new university.
Well, because you can
learn anything.
It's like you back when we were growing up, you pretty much had to watch anything that was on TV. Now nobody has cable anymore. We pretty much have everything streaming. Yeah. We have all of our streaming apps.
You got a Fire Stick.
But you have YouTube, which is basically your Google.
Yeah.
And you can search whatever it is that you want, and you can get valid and accurate information. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying click on the first video that you find. Like actually check. You know, actually look. You can actually. That's the thing. You can. It's really like Google. You can even fact check what you find on YouTube by just going to Google. You can go and look at what people are saying and just go and research. But the thing is, not a lot of people want to do that. A lot of people just want to know it. A lot of people just want to watch the first video that they see or watch the first video that was shared by their friend on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and be like, oh my gosh, this is it. Like, it's like, why not just try and double back on this person and find out if they're actually, right about what they're saying. Yeah. And it's like, realistically, there are people out there that want to give out the good information and, want to be very accurate as possible. Mm-hmm. So maybe one of those people would like it for you to correct them. Like, hey man, you're actually looking off about this. It's like, oh cool, thank you. Like I'll fix myself. Right. I see YouTubers do that. I see Twitch people do that. I see, like all kind of people who
like
stream
fact
do that.
check each other within like whatever's going on.
And like they'll go back in the next video and be like, hey, I remember saying this. It's like I was actually wrong about this, and they'll correct themselves. Like that's what people want, right. And like, but so many people are just so scared of being wrong or told that they're wrong, or it's like, man, can't we live through life perfect? Like,
well, I feel like people gain knowledge and then don't apply it. I feel like the problem with it is that for somebody, for example, if you're going to want to receive some sort of advice that I'm trying to give to you, okay, and let's say that advice is in basketball, or let's even basketball, okay, let's say you are 16, 15 years old and you want to be really, really good at basketball one day, okay? And you have two options. You can either choose listen to Kyle, okay? And Kyle's going to get you where you need to go, or you can listen to LeBron James. Who are you going to listen to? LeBron James.
Kyle.
No, you're going to listen to LeBron James every time. So the reason why is not because I have good ball handling skills or whatever the hell. It's because of LeBron James' experience.
And his resume.
Yes, his resume, but at the core of what it is, the experience that is embedded, bringing it back to something that's even smaller. If somebody, because you're on your journey, you are going to have people that if you do decide to start that business and you're dead set on it and you've made the choice and you're going to follow through with it day to day, you're going to work a little bit towards getting that future that you designed for yourself, right? In that world, there's going to be people that are going to tell you that they know some things. But really what they're doing is feeding you the improper information because they've never applied the information that they so-called know. Mm-hmm. So it's important for if you're going to look up something on YouTube or whatever, make sure that it's somebody, let's say, that has experience. But if you're going to have somebody tell you to your face that this is what you need to do, this is the process that you need to go through, whatever the hell, make sure that their experience adds up enough for you to actually take that advice, because some people do the amount of advice that I've received on videos, editing, top to bottom, from every angle that I could even imagine, I could tell you like 90% of the information that I've ever received was wrong. And the only reason why is because all this information that people will try to feed you will sometimes just be ultimately wrong because they have never applied it themselves. But they think that it's true because some dude on YouTube told them that. So it's important for you to talk to people that are actually doing the thing that you want to do in whatever fashion that it is, because that's why me and Jacolby can have conversations for hours about just filming and whatever the hell, just because we both enjoy filming. It's something that we've been in the realm of for a while. And due to that, it makes the conversation easier. I can ask him because he has certain experiences that I've never obtained, and I have certain experiences in maybe the social media marketing world that he's never obtained that he might use one day. And so it's important to understand the person that you're talking to, but it's most important that if you are going to give some advice, make sure that you have some experience behind it in a way, because I'm telling you, somebody that has some experience in whatever business that you're trying to get into is not going to want to listen to you if you don't have any experience behind you. You know, like you said, that resume, I think it's important.
Right.
And
so you need
just to let everybody know too. Sometimes you will have the experience and you will be telling people and they won't listen, but you can't do anything about that.
Yes.
All you can do is just give them the advice, and if they want to use it, they'll use it.
Yep.
The important thing is that whether they use it or not, they're going to remember that you said it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
if you gave them the advice and then they end up failing, they're going to remember you.
Yes.
They're going to remember you. Like, that's all I say.
Life is cyclical. By cyclical, I mean like it repeats. So,
Yep.
I mean, at the end of the day, whether somebody gave you some piece of advice on, let's say, day 2, and you're on day 407, and that advice finally came to fruition, you will remember that from day 2, because that one person gave you that slight bit of advice that helped you on day 407. But
which is why you should seek out multiple sources, of advice and knowledge, to kind of put it all together. Don't just take one person's word for it, or, this person's word for it, try and get as many people or sources online,
perspectives.
Like sports betting.
Yes.
Yeah, like exactly.
Sports betting.
You don't want to get your sports betting information from just one YouTuber or one person, You got to look up all of it and then do your own research and then this and that.
Yeah, and then make a what's it called, a knowledgeable decision based on the evidence that was received.
Yeah.
So,
dude, whenever I'm going to buy something, dude, I look up so many reviews. If I'm looking about to watch an anime, I look up the reviews, or just always trying to figure out, should I be doing this, or is it like this, or
Every
more
time-
perspectives and knowledge.
every time that I'm about to buy something off of Amazon, Jacolby's like, "Did you look up the reviews?" And every single time, look, and I'm gonna circle this back for a second, but every time that something cool or some sort of cool idea ever pops up, Dan, Jacolby, their first thoughts are write that down.
Yep.
And it's because they've understood the world that I've been in for a while. I understand the world that they're in, and they understand that ideas are hard to come. Good ideas are hard to come by sometimes. So whenever you finally do catch that one good idea, make sure that you are a note taker.
Yeah,
Dude, it is so crucial.
most people don't write them down.
We literally have phones with a note section.
How are you not using that?
Yeah.
Like, bro.
So
Shout out to Trevor and Trey, who don't write stuff down. They be having the best ideas, the funniest ideas, and they don't write them down.
or
Love y'all, though.
or shout out to them for only watching 30 minutes of a video when you could have watched that whole hour and a half and it would have changed your life. You know who I'm talking to. No, I'm just joking. But yeah. So all right. Well, I'm just gonna call it. I think we can conclude this episode of the very first podcast. We are already at almost an hour and 30 minutes of recording nonstop, and both cameras are still recording.
It's an hour and a half?
We're almost at we're literally an hour and 27 minutes, almost an hour 28 minutes.
Oh, wait, you covered everything?
Pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to try to keep it within an hour to an hour and 30 just from the editing side.
Okay, cool. So that way we can just talk about whatever. Bro,
Yeah.
so let's get into talking. We just going to get into some shit.
Are we going to keep
Just
this on the
bullshit.
podcast, or we don't want to?
No, well,
Yeah, we keep it in
want to end it
podcast.
now? Or you wanna
We
talk
could
about
bullshit
this
for
one?
a couple more minutes
because,
and then
alright,
I'll do an
this-
outro.
This is what people would pretty much want. They would want to talk about, all kind of things.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Kevin Samuel.
Man, that that actually hit really hard for me, and I'm glad that you said that because
I felt
Kevin's
him. And not all that.
yeah, Kevin Samuels, I feel like was such a real and genuine person that actually cared about the people that he was trying to help.
Yep.
Like I feel like a lot of the words that he had said were either misheard or misdirected or whatever. but at the core of who he was genuinely trying to help every single one of the women that he was on the phone with.
Well, not even that. He was just teaching black men, but not just black men, but men in general, how to just don't be swindled about these women. Like, know your worth. Understand that if you want to be in a relationship, man, y'all got to make it 50-50. Like, what is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? What is wrong with it being 50-50? Okay, if you don't want it to be 50-50, you want it to be, oh, I want him to do most of everything, because I feel like I've done more enough in my life. I mean, who are you, Jesus? But if you
what
feel
kind
that
of
way,
suffering have you been through?
exactly. Like, if you feel that way, let it be known, because there are men out there that want that type of thing.
Yeah.
And like I said, to each his own. I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to, that's to each his own. But a majority of the men, just, they want it to be 50-50, bro. Like, there's not, I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like that should be something that's reasonable. And if you feel like you can't match that 50-50, well, then let that man go. It doesn't matter how attractive he is. That's his life. Like, how you going to put his life on hold? You wouldn't want somebody to put your life on hold.
Right.
You know, like.
So actually, I want to piggyback off of the 50-50 thing. So I actually believe something different in a functioning, healthy relationship. I don't think that it should be 50-50. I think that it should be 100-100. Okay? The reason why is because if you're going into this thinking that I have to give a certain amount, then that relationship will only be up to the potential that you put out. Okay.
So you're saying she cutting grass too?
No. If she wants, the thing is, if you're putting food on the table, if you're paying for the bills, if you're doing everything that's necessary for your 100% to be fulfilled, she better be fulfilling that 100, or he, whatever, should be fulfilling their 100%. And the reason why is because you can't just give 50% of yourself to somebody. You have to give you have to give them your all. And the reason why that's so important, at least to me and the character of who I am, is because every relationship that I've been in, I've felt like I've given more, way more, and I felt like I've given my 100%. But then there's some relationships that I've been in that they take, and it feels like they're only ever given 50%. And so in a full relationship with two full human beings, if they're both giving 100%, right, then we're at 200% and the relationship is thriving. But if they're only giving 50% and you're only giving 100%, let's say you're giving your 100%, then the only route that you can go is not nearly as fast of a slope as those people that are putting 100% and 100% into that relationship. I feel like it's just extremely important for, if you do decide to get into a relationship, realize what you are in with. Realize that there's going to be flaws, there's going to be battles, there's going to be arguments, there's going to be goods, there's going to be bads, but it is a day-by-day task. And if you are not giving your 100% every single day, it will show in the relationship.
That doesn't mean having sex all the time.
Yes, you don't need to have sex every single
Sometimes
day.
sex is the problem.
Yes,
Exactly. That's not what relationships are all about. It's not all about sex.
Talking from experience. Here you go. We talked about earlier. Somebody coming with experience.
Since we talking about it.
It's all them porn shoots. Yeah, no, you pretty much were saying what Dan said. It's basically a balance, you know?
Yes.
It's just all about balance.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, I just, like I said, what I say 100%, it's about giving yourself your all. To that person. If you can't give all of yourself to that person, then that person will never be able to give themselves to you.
Facts.
And it is a balancing act. It is a give and take. But most importantly, communication, talking to that person, letting them know, look, I'm in 100%. Where are you at? Because if you can't meet me at your full potential, then there's no reason for me to take this relationship on to the next level. There's no reason for it.
And it also just boils down to trust.
Trust.
If you're gonna basically talk to this person about what the problems are and it's affecting the relationship, you have to let them know. Cool, you let them know.
Right.
But now you gotta trust them. You can't nag them about it.
Yeah. And that comes with faith.
Yeah, can't nag them about it. You gotta trust them. And realistically, we're not robots. It's not gonna be like tomorrow. This is a brand new woman. Like, no, it takes time, bro, because everybody has to adjust.
Absolutely.
Everybody adjusts. And especially whenever it's like, what's the word I'm looking for? A constant like thing that they always did. Next, let's say if she did something that constantly bothers you.
Right.
Now you brought it down. You're like, look, bitch.
Right. Let's say you brought it up to him, right?
Yeah, and you bring it up to him. She understands now. She's upsetting you doing this, and so now she's gonna work on not doing it anymore. Give it realistic. Give it real time. Give it like a month.
Right. Exactly.
If you come back a month later and it's still the same problem, okay, well then now what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta give people time. Realistic. You gotta trust them to be able to stop doing something, or to be able to just give consideration to how you're feeling about whatever it is that they're doing. You know.
Communication. So many people jump into relationships so fast, like that. That's how a lot of them get ruined. You know, you don't
be horny.
know the person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't help it. You know, people just start dating and it's quick. But yeah, you need to really know the person. You know, sometimes they date them, they don't have nothing in common, or you can't give anything to the other person. Y'all have no benefits. Or sometimes it's off, but you just gotta kind of take time with it.
Yeah.
Make it more than just, what's your name? Jonathan. Make it more than just that. Come on, man.
Like I said, I think you got to know yourself before you can get into a relationship with somebody else. Because if you don't even know who you are, how can you give 100% of yourself to somebody? So I think it's important to know you before you know somebody else. So get to knowing yourself, get to knowing what businesses that you want to create, and self-sacrifice, suffer. Get into that world of I'm going to grind for a long time, and then one day it will pay off. And then whenever you're about ready, then start looking for that relationship, because I don't think that it's hard for somebody to hop into a relationship when you don't even know what you're doing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are now watching the dating channel.
The dating channel with the block party.
Wait, don't you have people from like out of state, right? That look at your stuff.
I literally. Oh yeah, do I?
Right now on TikTok.
They might have somebody from the UK that might.
Oh yeah, okay. So I feel like also what would be funny and cool is if you just like let people know crazy things that go on in our like city,
in our like
city
daily.
Oh,
okay.
let's get on this for a second.
Okay.
Over here at the Lafayette Courthouse.
Okay.
They had the FBI raid the courthouse for over 8 hours. They were in there so long and had so much work to do, full of scandals, that they brought these men pizza.
Box of pizza.
You stay in there for a while if you got people bringing pizza to the FBI in the courthouse.
In the Lafayette courthouse?
Yes, you didn't hear about this? This was like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, the cops are like outside the courthouse.
They like raided it and everything for hours. Like, yeah.
What were they like looking for? Like,
apparently it was like a judge that was like letting people get off under the table. Like it was something like that. I remember
stuff a judge was doing.
Yeah, like basically like letting people get off by paying him, basically, instead of
like under the table shit.
Yeah. So like apparently, but that has been going on for the past like few years, and so they're basically was just cracking down on it now. Yeah. But yeah,
and they had to get the FBI out there just to get that done?
I'm just saying. They brought these men pizza.
That's how these men were working.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, just imagine. Oh, look, the judge did. Oh, give me that pepperoni slice.
Yeah, we got 4 pounds of marijuana right here. Yeah, could I get pepperoni? Yeah, bro. Like,
it's gonna be juicy one, boys.
No cap. But all right, cool. Well, I don't want to do too much editing. It is about a minute, an hour and nearly 40 minutes. But thank y'all so much. This was an incredible episode. An incredible episode of the Block Party podcast. We are gonna get straight into editing this thing and making sure everything's good to go. But man, I'm excited. Camera didn't shut off. Oh, the battery's literally going out. So I guess at about an hour and 40 minutes is whenever it starts to go out. But all right, I'm going to end this before anything changes. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for hopping on the Block Party podcast. Thank you so much to Dan. Thank you so much to Jacolby.
Love y'all. Love you.
Yeah. And make sure that y'all check out their socials. I'm sure that they had said it earlier in there. I don't think you said yours.
Well, I got to say
Yeah, you don't have to say it. Never mind. All right. Thank y'all so much for watching. Y'all are introvert.
All
right. Hey, shut out. But peace.